so let me double my money so I can get more out of this. When you go in and you double your money, you're really confusing Facebook. And it's going to mess up the algorithm. So again, that key number with Facebook and ads, 72 hours. Once that has passed, then you can kind of go back in, increase your budget 25% of the time, every 3 days. It's just kind of the basic textbook way to do it. Okay, Instagram stories. Who's on them? Nobody's on Facebook's Instagram stories?
What?
No one? Yeah, are you?
What are you saying?
Instagram story, are you on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know when you click on Instagram and the little circle's at the top and you can watch the videos?
No.
Okay. Check with me after. So literally no one in this room is on Instagram stories. Chester, you're not on Instagram stories? Kind of?
Yeah, we don't use them a lot.
Okay, now we're getting braver. Yes, Dad, we're on Instagram stories. Okay, so we'll dive through all of these things and might spend some more time talking about what Instagram stories are a little bit more. So in Instagram stories, we know that we can take small videos or pictures and we can add them so people can see. So opposed to just making an Instagram post on your profile, you get to actually give some more information. It's a really great way to give a behind the scenes. So let's say you're a farmer and you grow tomatoes and you're picking tomatoes before the farmer's market. The next day, do some videoing like, hey, I'm Farmer Bill. Look, I'm picking these tomatoes. I'm putting in this basket. We're so excited to see you tomorrow. This is how our process works. This is my favorite bucket to pick in. You can kind of give that behind the scene look at who your business is and who you are. Because again, building trust with your audience is so important. One of the biggest trends in 2019 for social media as a whole is being authentic. Instagram and Facebook is getting fed up with bots coming in and doing fake likes and fake accounts and just trying to sell you stuff and automatically messaging you. And they're really trying to combat that. So authenticity is really going to be able to help build your brand. And you might say, I don't want to share behind the scenes. I don't look good. I don't have, I haven't brushed my hair because I'm doing stuff in the farm work. It doesn't matter. Give them that real piece of who you are and what you're doing in the moment. So with Instagram, we can use Instagram stickers. I'll show you some examples. An Instagram story, we can repost customers' posts of their product or service. So say the customer went to the farmer's market, they bought your tomatoes, they posted about your tomatoes because they made a beautiful tomato pie, yum, and this beautiful photo. You can actually, if they have a public account, you can share their posts and put it in your Instagram stories. So then other people are like, oh, I need to get their tomatoes because I'm going to make that tomato pie. And then you can also do the same for you. So you posted something really fun that you like on Instagram, put it in your Instagram stories. Because you know what? You get more engagement in an Instagram story than you do in a post. So if you want to really get more engagement and more comments and likes on your Instagram post, stick it up in your story. And then just planning it out like anything. You want to have that plan and kind of know what we're doing. And when you're doing that content calendar for your regular posts, you can also plan out stories as well to go along with it. So examples. Here's some screenshots of what Instagram stories look like. So they're going to fill up your entire screen. We were getting ready to kind of revamp our wedding venue. It's been the same for years and years. We wanted to redo our packages. So before we sat down for that meeting, I wanted to poll our audience. We had almost 300 people participate in this particular poll. And these were the results that I was able to see. And questions we asked. Would your ideal wedding be indoor or outdoors? You guys, 84% said outdoors. And currently at that moment, we didn't really have a lot of options for outdoors. So what do we know to do now? we need to rethink our packages and think about what our guests really want and start to think about how we can offer some great things for outdoor weddings. How big is your ideal wedding? 64% said less than 100. So we know we're setting at a cap of 200 people. So we're in pretty good standing there. We don't need to really change anything. Another question, would you rather have an all-inclusive wedding or pay as you go? 69%, they want all-inclusive, easy peasy. So what can we do to make it really easy for them? One of my favorite marketing expressions or quote is sometimes you want to put the carrot into the horse's mouth. How easy can you make it for them to take that carrot, put it into their mouth, right? So really making it easy to make that choice. And then how much would you spend on a wedding? Because we were doing packages and repricing things, so being able to gauge what our followers would spend on a wedding was really great advice. So you can see having questions like this answers was huge when it came to re-strategizing our wedding packages. So questions, and so polls is a sticker that you can use. Question is another sticker that you can use. And don't you worry, because I'm going to show you how to do this after we're over done today. But P-Bar Farms, we do haunted corn maze. We get so many frequently asked questions about the haunted corn maze. I could spend all day long just answering everybody's questions. Or I could go into Instagram and I could say, hey, does anybody have any questions? And they'll start typing in their questions. I can answer their questions and it will post on my Instagram story. So anybody getting on later that day can click through and probably get all of your questions answered. Pro tip on that, when you do spend the time to answer 10 or so questions, you don't want to have to do that again. So you can actually save your Instagram stories into your highlights so they will always live on your profile. So anytime someone says, hey, I got a question about your haunted corn maze, and my dad is in the middle of giving hay rides, there's hundreds of people there, he's running all over, he can say, hey, check out our Insta stories, we got all of our frequently asked questions, and you'll have all the information you need to know. Okay, thanks, see you later, and get back to what you're doing. Setting yourself up an Instagram, Facebook, any social media profile, so when you're in your busy season, it's working for you and not against you. Here's an example of sharing posts. This is our sponsor last year. It was a rainy day, we were closed. So instead of getting on Instagram stories and just saying all this negative stuff like, sorry if you wanted to come and see us today, we're closed, see you next week. We say, hey, why don't you go check out our sponsors, Stafford Air and Space Museum, because they're only 3 miles down the road, and they've got lots of fun, and they're indoors. So even if they were planning to come and see us that weekend, they don't have to derail their plans. They can still do a fun family activity. Okay, how are we doing our time? Pretty good. Influencers. Has anybody ever worked with an influencer? Does everybody know what an influencer is?
No.
Okay, let's dive in. An influencer is an individual who has the power to affect purchase decisions of others because of his or her authority, knowledge, position, relationship in their niche audience. They're an individual who has a following in a particular niche, which they actively engage with, and the size of their audience is going to depend on what their niche is. So, have you ever gotten on Instagram or Facebook and someone takes a product and they're trying to like, oh wow, look how cool this is. Or maybe they're on Instagram every single day and you see their lives, but from time to time they might try to show you a product or what it is. That's an influencer. Influencers are a huge thing in today's society. A ton of people are making a 6-figure plus living off of posting something on social media because they have hundreds, thousands of followers that really trust them and believe in them. And so anytime they post something, those hundreds and thousands of followers are buying it. and they're loving it. So you want to work with an influencer because you're going to get better engagement. They're targeting a more relative audience. You're going to gain customers' trust, and typically it's going to be cost effective. And how to approach. So if you're going to approach an influencer, you want to have a plan. You want to do your research. You want to establish a connection. Don't just find an influencer, someone who looks cool, and immediately send them a message and say, hey, let's work together. Get to know them. Start engaging with that influencer. Comment on their post. And then, be prepared. So if you've been commenting on their posts, you've been engaging them, you feel like their values really align with your values, so you have like a very organic connection, chances are they're going to be just as excited to work with you as you are to work with them. And one quick question, we'll go back a little bit, just like an example, because since a lot of you haven't worked with an influencer before, something we did with P-Bar Farms, has anybody heard of the Oklahoma City Moms blog? If not, Oklahoma City Moms blog. So it's a collection of moms. There's about 15 to 20 moms. They write blog posts. They have a social media presence. They do a little bit of everything. They have monthly meetings. They share advice. Just a great mom's resource. But what do moms have? Children, right? And what does a corn maze love? Children. So we worked with Oklahoma City Moms blog. We paid them a fee, and they did a sponsored boosted post for us and did some giveaway family packs for our corn maze. That sponsored post got 600 likes, hundreds and hundreds of comments, and spread like wildflower. I could post about giving away 4 tickets on our individual profile, but it's not going to get 600 likes in that amount of time. So it's worth it, because you know what, the moms following it, if OKC Moms Blog is talking about it, then gosh, it must be good. So that's kind of an example. So, Homegrown Social Club. And to be honest, as I was preparing for this conference and thinking about speaking to you guys and the different types of groups that were going to be here today, I wanted to make sure I could have added value. I want to do more than just speak to you today. How do I help you moving forward? And looking through my services and realizing, gosh, if there's some small businesses that are doing something on the side or they're just starting out, really investing and having someone do all of their social media isn't always a realistic thing. Some of you guys are bootstrapping your businesses and you're wanting to be able to do the best that you can, but not have so much of an overhead that it doesn't make sense for where you are in growing your business. So I've actually developed a completely new service and program for you guys. It's called the Homegrown Social Club, because creating content for social media is hard. Being active, I did a poll on the app for the conference today, and everyone was like, I just don't have the time to do anything. That was like the overwhelming answer. I don't have time to create content, to engage with followers. So what can I do to make it simple? So my mission with the Homegrown Social Club is to create an atmosphere where I can help you with captions, because I'm going to give you captions that you can create specifically to your business. I'm going to give you photos that you can use so you're not out there trying to take photos all the time because you don't have time. And I'm also going to give you education. So there's going to be a portal with the Homegrown Social Club where you can come and engage with people just like you, just like the people that are at the conference, where you can get some help and support. If you have a quick social media question, you can post it and get an answer. And every month we'll take a different topic that we really dive into. Because today, all of those things, those topics that we hit, we just put our toes in the water. But in Homegrown Social Club, you'll be able to immerse yourself in one thing every month so you can really start to understand it, so you can start to get a better idea of what social media is and how you can use it to grow your business.